Hey y'all, it's me, Rini. Today's video, we're going to discuss an episode on My 600-Pound Life, Ontreon's story. And Ontreon's story kind of pulled at my heartstrings a little bit because it really did show me about how obesity is really a serious addiction. Some people might think that it's just people just greedy or they like to eat or whatever, but it's really an addiction. When you don't have control over a certain thing in your life, that means you are powerless over that thing and therefore you are addicted. So stay tuned, guys. I'm coming right back at you. We're going to discuss Ontreon's story on My 600-Pound Life. Okay, guys, so a little bit about Ontreon. He didn't really say what his age was, but it leads me to believe that he was close to 40 years old. So Ontreon has a slew of health problems. First off, he is married. He has a beautiful wife. She's African, and she's pretty much in shape, very slender, attractive woman. Ontreon has advanced stages of diabetes. He has congestive heart failure, and he has various medications that he has to take just to keep him out of the hospital. Again, when the story first aired, he was talking also about how hard it is for him to just take a shower. It's like he go through all of these just different methods just to take a shower on his own. However, his mom and his wife has to be close by in case he has to call out to them for help. He did go on to say there was a certain part in his marriage where he had to literally like leave his wife and go live with his mom so that his mom could be more readily available to assist him with just basic health living needs, just basic just living skills. Because the wife was working and she's taking care of the household and it became a big burden on her. So he had to just move out temporarily to be with his mom so that she can help him. So one thing I learned about the wife is the wife does try to get him to eat healthy. She does try to engage him in healthy eating. She's a huge support and she really does try. So she is really good for him. But Antreon has a very strong personality. All he does is talk about food. He loves to eat. Food is very important to him. And so he always seems to override the things that his wife is trying to get him to accomplish. So with that being said, what the wife is trying to do pretty much goes out the door because, she probably every now and then gives in to him because he's so strong about his feelings about food. So in talking about his childhood, Antreon goes on to talk about how food was always present in his childhood. Grew up in a spiritual family, he grew up really basic with just his mom. His father, he didn't really know, but he had other siblings also who resided with the father, but he lived with his mom alone and his grandmom raised him. So they were grew up in the church. And so, black churches and all that stuff. Y'all know how it is. You leave church, you go home, you had this big spread of dinner. Food is always present. Food is always there. And so that's how he grew up. Food was always there. And so deep down inside, Antreon was going through a lot of different emotional problems that he never really talked about. When he was 12 years old, he did lose his father. Even though he didn't know his father, it still bothered him. It still hurt him. And he lost his grandfather also, to just different health issues. So these are some things that he's kept buried inside of him, which thus food was there to comfort him. And another thing, moving along as he grew up, he wasn't able to stay in college because he was so big, and even in high school, he got, picked on and stuff. It became very hard. So once he dropped out of college, he did maintain a couple of jobs, guys, but then a security job actually. But then after the security guard became a little bit too much because of his weight, at first it worked in his favor because of his size. But then, the standing and all the things that you have to do as a security guard took a toll on his body. So he thus had to quit. So then he went into a depression. He went into a depression when he had to quit his job because of the fact that, now I feel useless. I can't do anything. So that got me to thinking, it's like, man, just being powerless over your thoughts and powerless over the decisions that you make to choose to eat foods that you know is not good for you, choose to just continue to do wrong and it's not good for you. It's really a serious problem, guys. And we're going to get on to how Antreon finished this whole thing out. So okay. Antreon, he did lose weight on his own at one point. He did what they call intermittent fasting. So during intermittent fasting, he was able to lose a whopping 200 pounds on his own. However, life events happened and he just gained that weight back and then some. So finally, at the end of his rope, he looked up Dr. Now, decided to go visit him because he realized that was his last hope. So him and his wife pack up, they go take a trip to Houston, but during the process of packing up, the wife finds that he was hiding food. So she questioned him, like, where did this come from? He's like, oh, what are you talking about? That was always there. So that again showed me, guys, that this is a serious addiction when you have to hide food, like from your significant other so that you can get that food later. it's really sad and it's really like a hard thing to deal with. So anyways, they go to Houston to go meet up with Dr. Now, and Ontreon has no idea what he weighs. So he goes there, he weighs in at a whopping 702 pounds, guys. 702 pounds. So they go and they meet with Dr. Now and they get their assessment done. And Dr. Now was just trying to talk to him and ask him, how did you let it get to this point? How did you let it get this bad? So he went on to tell him about his childhood and about, how food was always there. The decisions that he made wasn't in his favor, how he had losses in his life. He lost a couple of siblings. He lost his dad. He lost his grandfather. And food was always there to comfort him. And food was always present. And that's very true. Whenever you want to just go eat something, you can just go grab you something. Food is not going to talk bad about you. It's not going to give you no lip. Food is there for you to take. So Dr. Now gave him a charge to lose 80 pounds in 2 months, and just told him that, look, this is your last chance. You might not be around for too much longer. And so the wife, she got emotional because she loves her husband. And, you can tell she genuinely loves her husband because the way she looks and the way he looks, and I know it's not based out on looks, but there's somebody for everybody. So she's stuck by his side. You know what I'm saying, guys? So she's there to support him. She began to get emotional during the doctor's visit. And she told him, she said, you know what? It's all in your hands now. It's totally up to you. There's nothing more I can do. You have to decide that you want to do this. You have to decide that you want to live and that you want to be better. We're going to pick up the story from there. 2 months later, he's went home. He's trying to eat right, but he's not sticking to the diet. The wife took the time and she read all the materials that Dr. Now gave Ontreon. She read all of the materials. So she knew the diet even more than her husband. So he go home, he's indulging in things that he's not supposed to indulge in, like smoothies and stuff. And she told him, this is not on the diet. You're not supposed to be having smoothies, eating peanut butter, all the things that he's not supposed to eat because he wants to be comfortable. He wants to have that taste. He wants to eat those things that feel good to him. But she's trying to tell him, no, you're not doing what you're supposed to do according to the diet. He even gets a trainer. He gets a trainer, a good friend of his named Charles. They go out and they work out. And he does work out and all that stuff, but you can't work out, or how that saying goes, you can't outweigh a good diet. You can't work out or something to the fact that working out alone does not help you to lose weight. You have to work out in conjunction with eating right. So then he goes in for his follow-up appointment and weighs in with Dr. Now. He's supposed to be 80 pounds down. Okay, so instead he gained 7 pounds during that whole course of that 2 months. So Dr. Now was asking him, look, what are you doing? What are you doing? You're supposed to lose 80 pounds. You only lost 7 pounds. So the wife chimes in and, she goes into her story and tells Dr. Now about, look, I'm telling him he's not eating all the right things he's supposed to eat. He's doing smoothies. I just gave up. I just told him, look, when we get here to see you, I'll just let you tell him. So Dr. Now goes on again to tell him, you're not doing what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to be doing this, that, and the other. But Ontreon is full of excuses, as always, as most of them are full of excuses. So he goes home again and gives him another charge to lose 80 pounds. Same things, same thing. He go home, he does what he feels like he want to do. He's still working out. Then comes time for graduation. He graduated from his ministry school. They go out and celebrate to eat. It's always centered around food, guys. So after the ceremony, they go to a restaurant. They go out, they eat. He's already had it in his mind, I'm just going to stray off the diet a little bit because it's a celebration. So he's sitting down there ordering the food. And he's ordering all these bad foods, fried foods, pastas, and all this stuff. And the wife is looking at him like, and he studied this ordering the food. So he ate it. He just figured, like, you know what? I'll get back on it tomorrow. I'm just not gonna worry about it. It's a celebration. I did something great, so it's it's a celebration. So we're gonna pick up on it after that. Last weigh-in, guys. His last weigh-in. So they go back to Dr. Now. Again, he's supposed to lose 80 pounds. He goes in for the weigh-in with Dr. Now this last time, and guys, when he weighs in, he gained. Y'all ready for this? 15 pounds. 15 pounds. So Dr. Now told him, look, you heavier than what you was when I first met you. Like, what's the problem? He sent him to therapy. He did all of these things, sent him to therapy to talk to a therapist, all of that. The therapist divulged that, he might be holding on to some issues from his past that he needed to let go and grieve these losses or whatever in his life. He did all of the things that he was supposed to do as far as Dr. Now, I'm saying, as far as giving him the right 1,200 calorie diet, exercising, going to see a therapist, and then, just trying to tell him what he needed to do. But instead, his last weigh-in, he goes in 7 months later, and he's heavier than he was 7 months ago. So this is so sad to see it when Dr. Now has to tell the person, there's nothing else I can do for you. There's nothing else I can do for you. You have to do this on your own now. Like, if you want to continue therapy, that's fine, but there's no need for you to continue to see me because you haven't done what you're supposed to do. You're just constantly picking up weight, and there's nothing else I can do. If you find that in the future you want to do better, you want to be better, then come back and look me up. But at this point now, as it stands, there's nothing else I can do for you. So he goes on his way with his wife and everything, and he's just still talking, you know. During the meeting with Dr. Now, he got emotional, was crying and all this other stuff. But the bottom line is this, guys. It's up to you. It's up to you. You have to make a decision and you have to stick to it if you really want to lose weight. It's not easy. There are gonna be times when you're not gonna do right. You might not make it. You might not, you might fail or whatever, but you have to continue to try your hardest and push through this. And to me, the part that scared me the most on this whole thing is when Dr. Now told him, "You're running out of time. You're running out of time." So I hope that he got it together. Kind of left you hanging a little bit. After he left that appointment, it just showed him just, some bonus scenes with him and his wife going out again, eating and stuff. So I hope he got it together because he seemed like a nice guy, y'all. So I hope you guys enjoyed this review. I'll be back again talking about some more of these issues with obesity, and make sure you subscribe to my channel if you enjoyed it. And I thank y'all so much, and I'll see y'all at the next video. Bye.